Hi guys. So today we're gonna make pumpkin pie. So I only made a single crust though, because pumpkin pie only has really a bottom crust. So I made beforehand. If you want to know how to make a single crust, just split everything I told you in my apple pie video in half basically. So it would be 1.25 cups of flour, um, 8 tablespoons of butter, so like 1 stick, and then 1 salted butter, 1 tablespoon of sugar, half teaspoon of salt, and then 4 to 6 tablespoons of ice water. And then you just make one. Anyway, so this is the dough. Now for the inside, we're gonna have the following ingredients. We're gonna have 1 cup heavy cream, 1 cup milk, and 3 large eggs. And 3 large eggs plus 2 large egg yolks, sorry. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 can of pumpkin puree, of course. And pumpkin puree, like pure pumpkin, not like the pumpkin mix. And then 1 cup, like, candied yams. Like, you could use, like, canned yams, like the canned one, or you could, like, make your own. So what I'm gonna do is, like, roast and mash this yam, like, from scratch to see how it tastes. And you're gonna need 3/4 cup of sugar, quarter cup maple syrup. Now, you could use 2 teaspoons of grated or minced fresh ginger, but I'm gonna go with brown because I don't have any fresh. But in the back it tells you that if you have only like brown like me, the back it tells you that 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger equals 1 teaspoon of grated fresh ginger. So you could do that. And then 1 teaspoon of table salt, a half teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg. Now, see, with this also, like, for example, you could do all that, right, like separately, but I have like a pumpkin spice mix that I like to call it. It's basically, what I did is that, like, so I don't have to keep putting everything separately. It's just nutmeg, cinnamon, also allspice. It doesn't have allspice, but like I add that in there anyway because it's like very spicy, and it's perfect for like these kind of desserts. But yeah, it's allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon, and I just mixed it all in one. So I kind of just put 1 teaspoon of that, and that's good enough. This pumpkin spice mix. So if you want to make your own pumpkin spice mix, all you have to do is like mix 1 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and you're done. So I think it's really good because it's easier that way. Like, you don't have to like separately do them because you're always gonna put those kind of things in a pumpkin pie. So yeah, it's perfect. So yeah, that's all. So let's get started. So before we start though, I'm gonna like roll this out and put in the pie plate, but then we have to chill it in the freezer, like with the pie plate, for at least 30 minutes. And then we're gonna blind bake it. So I'll show you, but we have to roll this out and put it in the pie plate and then, chill it in the freezer for 30 minutes. Hey guys, so the pie shell has been chilling for 30 minutes and now I'm going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And then when you take out the pie shell from the freezer, you're going to put aluminum foil and then you're going to put pie weights. Like what I usually use is like beans. And I'm going to show you guys. And then I'm going to put that in the oven with the pie weights and everything, and it's going to bake for 25 to 30 minutes until it looks like dry and it's light in color. So, okay, I'm going to do that now. Alright guys, so this is like how you prepare for blind baking. Is a tin foil, see? And then I put beans as pie weights. And so, again, I'm preheating my oven to 375. It's going to bake for 25 to 30 minutes. But after that time of 30 minutes, then you're going to remove the tin foil and the pie weights. And then you're going to bake it for another 10 to 12 minutes. Until it gets like a deep golden brown. So, that's what you're going to do. Don't forget guys, also, you have to put the rack in the oven in the middle position. That's how this pie is going to bake, in the middle position. So make sure the rack is in the middle position before you put this in the oven. Guys, so as the pie shell is baking, I'm just going to start whisking things. So right now I put in heavy cream in the milk, but all I have to put in left is the whole eggs, the egg yolks, and the vanilla. Alright guys, so now I have everything, the eggs, the vanilla, egg yolks, heavy cream, and milk. So now I'm just going to whisk this. Alright, so now that mixture is done, I'm also boiling the yams so that it can get like, you know, really mashed, so I can be able to mash. Okay guys, in here, so basically we're gonna, in a large saucepan, you're gonna put the puree, the spices, including the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the ginger, salt, sugar, the maple syrup, and the yams. You're gonna bring it to a simmer in a large saucepan, and then you're gonna mash with a masher, basically. So you mash those yams really good, and it becomes nice, and basically for like 15-20 minutes, you're gonna candy them. That's what it is. So you're gonna cook this over medium heat, and basically you're just gonna candy the yams. That's what we're doing here. We're just gonna mash, and for 15 to 20 minutes over medium heat, like just candy the yams with the mixture. Okay, so also at this point, as I'm going to, you know, make that mixture, I'm gonna take out the pie weights that already finished 30 minutes and then put it back in the oven for another 10 to 12 minutes without the weights. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just mixing everything together and just mashing as much as I can. Okay, so now the candied yams are done. So what I'm gonna do is just mix it with the milky mixture that we had earlier. I left it in here in my mixer, and I'm just gonna like mix with this with that, the candied yams. They're done. They've been on the heat for 15 to 20 minutes, and now they're nice and candy, so I'm gonna mix. So this is what you kind of need to see, like when you mix them, and I think that's good enough. Like you just want to mix it really well, because we're gonna strain all this afterwards and then put it in the pie baked. By now it's done, the pie baked shell, so I'm gonna take it out. So this is my pre-baked pie shell. I would have liked it a little better. It came out a little lopsided, but that's okay. So we're just gonna put in the mixture in here now. So what I'm gonna do is use this strainer to put the mixture, the pumpkin mixture through here, like just to get any like, you know, any thick, like, you know, particles out, and it's like more smoother. This is why you want to strain, because look at all that thick, and like it already filled the whole pie shell. See, like it's already filled, and it's more smoother now, because you don't want that thick stuff like coming in. So yeah, so now I'm gonna put it in the oven. Alright, so I'm putting my baking sheet and preparing it, and so now the pie's gonna go in the oven. So at 375, it's gonna bake for like 10 minutes, and after that you're gonna bring it down to 300 degrees. And bake for another 25 to 45 minutes until like the firm is set, like the middle is set, until the middle is set and the edges are like, you know, really nice and bright. So 10 minutes has passed. I'm reducing the temperature to 300 degrees, and it's gonna bake for another 25 to 45 minutes. Okay guys, so here's the pie. It's perfectly done. Sadly the pumpkin covered my design a little bit, but it's a braid. It still looks good though. The color looks perfect. And you know that pumpkin pie is ready when basically you wobble it and it's got a jiggle. I don't know if you can really see, but it kind of jiggles slightly. And when it does that jiggling, that's good. because now you're going to let it basically stay at room temperature for 2 to 3 hours for it to set, and that's when it's officially done. So if you want to eat it at night, I would prefer to do it early in the morning, afternoon, so you can have it at nighttime, because by then it cools ready. But yeah, when it jiggles, that means it's ready, and now you have to wait 2 to 3 hours for it to fully be like done. But there it is, pumpkin pie.